All right. We're back with another episode. First, the sponsors. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow.com. Go check out a complete list of the sponsors there. I want to name a few of them now. Gallo Technologies, Rhino Metals, Blackwater Ammunition, of course, Galco Leather Holsters, Pulsar Thermal Imaging Technology, Full Quartz Firearms, and of course, Sig Sauer. Special thanks to Sig. Appreciate those guys. They're awesome. Right On Optics, Kenzie's Optics. Appreciate them. Shout out to Stetson. Go buy a hat. I want to thank everybody for supporting the show. Please like and subscribe. Do everything that, helps the show out. Share the content. I beg you guys to support. Today I got a special guest. I'm excited. We have a lot of mutual friends, a lot to get into. We're going to cover a lot. This man's an entrepreneur. He's a CEO. He's everything. An investor. He's all the things. And he likes to shoot. We got the one and only Brian Goldstein. What's going on?
What's going on, John?
Pleasure.
Glad
really
to be
is.
here.
Pleasure. So how the hell, take me through this. We'll get into the entrepreneur shit because I want to go there, but take me through how you got fascinated into shooting and you start getting into this world of being more capable and you like to train and everything else. Why and what drew you into it?
All right, so for a lack of better terms, I became an influencer early on in the game. I had every car under the sun, every toy I ever wanted, and it made me popular in that space. And to be frank, I got tired of all the douchebags in the car space. There's not as much bullshit in the gun space. I'd always been shooting since I was a little kid. My first gun was a 10-22 when I was 10. And from there, it just evolved. And one of my friends came up to me. He's like, hey, you want to get back into shooting? Do you want to go do all this fun stuff? I was like, all right, I got all the gear. Let's go.
Right.
And I slowly started, pressing the envelope with social media of transitioning from cars to guns and cars with guns and pushing that envelope farther and farther. And
Guy shit.
And companies started reaching out saying, hey, you want to travel here? You want to travel there? I was like, all right, I'm not opposed to any of this. Let's see how it goes. And I've been in it for 4 or 5 years now. And I love it. I love it.
You love it. We were talking about it out there. You love it. You enjoy being more capable.
Yep.
I mean, you just enjoy that. Has martial arts crept in at all? Because I haven't seen a lot of that, but...
It has not. I got a black belt in Taekwondo by the time I was 13.
That's fucking huge.
And my parents drilled it into my head. And then I did Krav Maga for 2 years.
There you go.
High school wrestling. And then I kind of said, fuck it, I quit.
Yeah, it takes a toll on you after a while. And if you're not going to use it, or you're not going to be like one of those black belts that, makes money on it, it's not really, it's a lot of work.
Dude, everything hurts already.
Hurts all the time. All the time. I get it. So you get drawn to this culture. You don't need this.
No.
You don't need to do this. So why do you do it?
It's my stress outlet. Between this, the off-road racing, the motorcycles, that I don't drink, I don't do drugs. So this is my vice of just the adrenaline high.
I love it. I think it's a no-brainer. Were you scared at all about any of the blowback of people being like, how dare you? Because you're behind enemy lines.
Oh, dude, I'm in California. I'm definitely behind enemy lines.
100% in commie country.
And then I travel to places like here, and everybody's like, what the fuck you doing living in California, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Well, my businesses are there. I can't leave yet. The plan is, me and my wife are looking at Texas or Florida right now. Once I sell my business and get out of some headaches.
You wouldn't do Vegas?
I'll temporarily do Vegas.
Yeah, I think you should. You'd fucking kill it here.
Oh, yeah. And it's, pick up a condo for a couple $100,000 and just play it out.
So how did you educate everybody, because people probably look at your page and like, how did this guy, you got your paws in everything. How did you become successful, and what drew you to getting involved with all these different brands?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's deep.
So
we ask the hard-hitting questions here.
I came from a household filled with alcohol abuse, physical abuse, and drug abuse. So that's why I don't drink or do drugs. Just never been my thing, because it was always in front of me. I had the opportunity to use it whenever I wanted it. Never did it for me. I ended up in special ed in the 6th grade. Through first year of college, got made fun of, bullied, all that good stuff. My dad had lupus, or has lupus. Day I graduated high school, he moved to Rochester, Minnesota, threw me the keys to the family business of a HIV specialty pharmacy in Beverly Hills in San Francisco, and said, figure it out. What the fuck do you mean, figure it out?
All right.
He left. He's like, figure it out. So went through the trials, tribulations, grew the company too fast, too quick, grew sales by $1 million in a month. My net payables are 15 days. My net receivables are 90 days. Doesn't quite equal out.
Right.
So ran into a huge financial pinch, worked through it, leveraged credit cards, did what I could, and grew the company from very small 4 people to 346 people across the country. Operated in 33 states, and now I've toned it down. Now I'm just in like 3 or 4, and
too much growth.
It was just too much. The money was great, don't get me wrong, but I like sleep. I like relaxing. I like my phone not to ring sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And so definitely toned it down over the years. Got married really young at 24, divorced at 26, and then had a lot of fun because I was making a lot of money, traveling to Vegas, going places with girls, finally settled down again. Just had a baby girl a couple months ago.
Hey.
So that's it in a nutshell of how I went from...
It's crazy because I know you don't need to do it, but you enjoy it. And you enjoy participating in these with these brands on all different levels, which is interesting. So it's not about the money; it's a passion for you, and you genuinely do enjoy the culture.
Correct.
You know what draws you to it besides the training?
There's no real bullshit like as much as the car industry. Everybody's talking.
Oh,
shit,
there's bullshit,
but not as much as the car world.
Yeah, I think in the firearms business, from the vantage point that you're in, is a good one. And I think you get to kind of be a fan, you know, a little bit. And I envy that position. It's like, I played football for a lot of years. I can never watch a football game like it's a normal game anymore. And I think a lot of people get that way. So I guess I'm a little bit jaded, but when you genuinely enjoy it and it's in that headspace that you're in, I think it's the most enjoyable time. Like, I enjoy it when I see, even like on Bruce's stuff, like he's going to the range and he's just shooting some targets, having a good time. When I see guys like you on the range having a good time, you're genuinely enjoying it. At this point, I end up critiquing so many little things that it's like it starts to become like annoying for me. Like the what brands do and how they participate in different things is always something that like I'm always analyzing, and how they're marketing and how they're doing everything. It's like my coach used to say, don't watch the game like it's a movie. So I end up, it's the same kind of thing for me. So it makes it hard to love it. I love the people. The people are what I love. I think at the end of the day, the majority of the people are great folks in this business.
And that's why I love it more than the car industry. It is the people and reaching out to guys like you.
It's less transient than the car and business, for sure. A lot of the people have been around for 1,000 years. You know, like even Bruce will walk around a show and be like, I knew that guy 20 years ago, you know? So you end up meeting people that you've crossed paths with in life that now are in this space. I feel like the car game is like anybody can get in the, hey, I got a vintage car, I'm in the game, you know? It's
exactly.
Like, it's one of those things. You either can shoot or you can't.
Yeah, and I've gone on the range with plenty of people that can't shoot.
It's amazing.
Or how many people are getting CCWs that need to wear glasses, that don't wear glasses, that really can't hit a target beyond 5 yards.
Yeah, the training component with CCWs is one that's dicey. You know, a lot of people feel people should just go buy a gun. Where do you sit on that, being in California with all the wait periods and everything else? How do you unfuck that, right? Like, you just don't even bother. You have to leave almost.
Also, the things I tell people in California, just go buy a gun, buy 1,000 rounds of ammo, and go shoot 50 rounds a week. You don't have to go crazy, because I know 9 mils $1 a round right now.
Crazy.
So 50 rounds a week, even 50 rounds every 2 weeks, just to get acclimated with the gun, pay an instructor.
Some dry fire in there.
Yeah, get some dry fire, get some of those laser practice guns, whatever it is, the certs or whatever they are. And, you know, train with something and be vigilant about it. Don't just buy a gun, throw it in your safe and say, oh, when shit goes south, I'll go grab it.
Now, who are some of the people that you got in the opportunity to train with? I mean, you get all the money in the world to train with anybody. Who is some of the you sought out and you've been like, I want to train with that guy?
So I got to train with Paul Van Dunk for a while.
Okay.
Really like Paul from Agency. Knockout Lights, Mike.
Mike? Yeah.
Mike's down the street. Well, not down the street, but close enough where it makes it convenient. And I love Mike's personality, so he's always fun to film with.
Super nice guy. Great family.
Super nice family.
Yeah.
Kawa, got to train with him a couple times. Yeah. Trying to think who else.
All good guys. I know all those players. They're good guys.
Supposed to train with Joe Farewell.
Yeah, Joe. Don't call him Joey. Joe Farewell. But Joe's a great guy. I love him. Super nice guy. He's always here all the time. So I think him and Jamie are dating now, right? He's always here.
I feel like that's kind of under wraps, but not really.
Not really.
Oh.
Well, not really now. I just made sure of it. Not really now.
You just made sure.
I just went public. Sorry, Jamie. So I went public with it.
I'm supposed to go to that simulation training in Florida with WOFT, WFT.
Yeah, that guy's pushing hard. He's pushing hard. I don't know if the formula works, but he wants like $2,000 a head to go down there, and he's like, yeah, 2,500, five for one person.
One person.
Get out. $5,000 for WOFT. One person? The fuck have they got down there, Coke?
I don't know, but I got to bring my camera guy. I was like, dude, we got to work something out or I'm not coming.
Yeah, he wants crazy money to go down there. Crazy. I had a company show me a proposal he put together and it was like $2,500 a head. I'm like, what does he have down there? Heroin?
No. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but if it was $1,000, I feel like that's an easier sell.
Is it ammo too? You got to pay for the simunitions and all that?
I think that's included. Plus you got to pay for, dude, Nevada to fucking Florida's.
What's the guy's name? Paul, Pete, something?
Philip.
Okay. See, I was in the neighborhood.
You're close.
Yeah. He you know, I think he's got a really cool thing down there. That cost is fucking nuts.
Dude, I've seen some of the names go through there and I'm like, did they actually pay or did he comp it?
I have no idea. I'm not overly familiar. I think I've corresponded with him once if I'm stretching, but I know some of the packages he's offers. I know he pitched a company I know well, and I looked at the numbers and I was like, that's fucking crazy. Because the media grab, I mean, you're wearing a helmet and everything.
Correct. And a full face shield. I
just don't see that being, like, he's trying to go that route of like the media will be unbelievable. You're wearing a mask.
True.
And I was a marketing director for 9,000 companies. I don't see, you know what I mean? I don't know.
You don't see the upshot.
Do you? Like, would you leave there and be like, I want to post 10 pictures of me in a mask at WOFT?
No. I'd have a hard time even posting the content itself just because of the mask.
Would you? Why don't you buy them? That's an idea. Buy them and reboot the whole formula.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, if he's charging $5,000 a head and he's getting it, good for him.
And then he's partnered, I believe, with HK to do some.
Yeah, he was trying to partner with everybody. I had heard that he was trying to get everybody through, but I don't see it. I think the future of the gun industry isn't necessarily on the range.
No, I see. Considering ammo, I don't think ammo prices will ever go back down to what we were used to back in the day. So I think a lot of virtual training will be the new norm.
Mm-hmm. I don't see. Here's the problem: when you travel around the gun industry, Brian, you come across a lot of engineers and they have an engineer's mindset. A lot of the manufacturers, a lot of the owners. The problem you run into in the gun industry is all those guys love their baby. They're like, I designed this, whatever this is. And it has a rail and it's 4 ounces lighter than the other rail that we came out with 5 years ago. And they get into that game where they want you to buy whatever product it is that they're selling based on the technology. The technology is just not that exciting. AR-15 and AK technology and even striker fire technology is not that exciting of technology. I think what SIG's doing is really cool with the FCU thing. I think the ability to build your own gun and customize is something that's really cool. I always thought GunWorks was really cool what Chip Davidson does over there. The way you can drop down, choose all the modular pieces you want on your firearm were really cool. I just see the future of the gun industry not necessarily on the range. You were just at the Big Daddy thing. I'm saying to myself, I see the potential for that to turn into like a first form type of event, something like that. But I think you have to tweak a couple things because just going rat-tat-tat on the range, that's not the gun industry.
No, and it was a little crowded. Bruce will tell you it was snug. You know, vendor next to a vendor. The safety was a little questionable. Like it's
all on the fly.
Yeah. And there needs to be some tweaks along the way.
Yeah. I think this industry is ripe for someone to come in with the right ideas because the leadership orgs, the NSSF, the NRA, they don't get it. They don't understand how to place their brand anymore. They don't understand how to get their awareness of the things that they're doing out there properly. The industry is ripe to have somebody with the right means, the right resources to come in and say, you need to start doing this, whatever it is. And I think it's going to be some combination of on the range meets an event meets an experience. See where I'm going with this?
Yep.
And creates a community. And that's where you get a lot more out of the people you're working with. I think that the Big Daddy deal is the beginnings of something. It's just now shaping it and molding it. Like imagine if that was one less day on the range and you had like a concert over at the parking lot of one of the brands. You did like a parking lot party.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, and you had like podcasts going. You had people doing round to speaking, on the stage, kind of like First Form does. You did a lot of that type of stuff. You'd instantly build a community, and there would be more of a desire, I promise you, to be on that stage than there would be to be on the range and do a mag-up.
Oh, 100%.
And they don't get that yet.
No,
the industry's never understood how to make a superstar. And a superstar, like NBA wouldn't be where it is without Jordan or LeBron or Magic and Bird. They don't understand that path. And the only track that they've had was Colion and Dana Loesch, which are like, neither one of them have ever worked in the gun business. And that's one of the flaws of the gun business, is it anoints people that really don't have the range time. I've never seen Dana Loesch shoot a gun. I've said it on this show many times. I've never seen her shoot a gun. Yet she's one of the spokespeople for the gun industry.
It's kind of interesting.
It's very interesting. It's crazy. But nationally, they anoint these people. It's different. Hey, you know, we'll put a Navy SEAL on it. Think about this, Brian. You're a gun industry fan. We've never seen any. Tell me the last time you've seen an executive speak on a national stage like Fox News or anything like that. Tell me the last time you've seen anyone that cashes a check actually in the gun industry speak. Most of the time, they'll get a Navy SEAL or a Special Forces guy, and they'll talk about two-way rights in the United States, which, you know, Jack Carr will tell you most of them don't. You know, that's not their wheelhouse. They were tip of the spear guys.
Exactly, and I haven't seen it, and I've been in it for a while now, and I've watched it for several years prior.
You'll pay attention now.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting, right? So imagine if I bought Jordan shoes and I tried to tell him I know how to go baseline better than you.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's crazy, but that's this business, and that's one of the frustrating, you know, tackling points of the business. Besides organizing all the different states and the CCWs and all the issues with that, but I think that there are solutions, and I hope if we get the House in the next wave of elections, they'll be able to present some of those. I hope.
I think we all hope.
Right? It's crazy. Now, they just reversed the magazine law in California. Do you have any updates on where that's going or what's happening with that? Do you know? I don't know. Are they going to try to appeal it again? They just reversed it from, you could have the 30-round mags. Now you can't again. And I know it's caught up in
we got grandfathered in during that window.
That window.
And then I believe, I forget his name, Bunez or
yeah.
He also reversed the assault weapon ban, but then it got stayed or something. They're fighting it at a different level now.
They love attacking the accessories in California. That's like their shtick.
But that's not the problem. Dude, just make the testing a little harder, a little more stringent, but I don't get it.
I don't get it because there's always a workaround. There's always an engineering workaround.
There's always a workaround, and look at our crime in California, let alone Los Angeles.
It's crazy.
Like,
did you watch the Rittenhouse thing?
I did.
What do you think? Amazing 17-year-old.
Amazing 17-year-old.
Never should have been put in that position.
Should have never been put in that position, but he was, and I don't see anything wrong with what he did personally.
Nothing. But here's the problem. They're damn lucky. If you've been in a stressful training situation, imagine they're damn lucky he didn't turn and open fire on that whole crowd and fucking smoke everybody. Because he could have.
He only sent 3 rounds is insane. Because when you go to the range, training or not.
Discipline.
Yeah.
And you see people charging at you, they're damn lucky. And everybody in that crowd's lucky. Because he was right. He was right. And everything he did it right. And for a 17-year-old to get everything right is amazing. Amazing.
And now he's going on all these podcasts, talk shows, talking about all of it. I believe he's going after some of the news agencies as well.
I don't think he should. I think that's a bad move. What do you think?
I think it's a bad move. Just, dude, you got off?
We said it after. The industry will pimp him.
100%.
They'll try to pimp him, and I don't think he should. I think he should get his money, start an org, start a self-defense org, or he's big into EMT work or something like that, and medical work. He should do something like that. I mean, he should start a foundation. He's going to have enough money. He has a legitimate defamation suit against the president, I think.
100%, along with, I believe, LeBron and a couple other people.
I think it's legitimate. I think he'll get paid out. I don't know.
I'm sure someone's going to take it on a flyer, and it won't cost him anything.
Oh, I don't think it's going to cost him a dime. I think people are already pitching him now. I think lawyers are probably lining up to say, we can go after this one, we can go after that one. I think it's going to be a matter of putting the right legal team together and the right story. You know, he's going to have to prove defamation, which is tough. He's going to have to prove that his money might have been, his lifetime income might be affected. That's where he'll get the big money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That because of that, and I don't imagine there's anybody bigger than the president or LeBron that could have, triggered that type of response.
Those are 2 huge people.
I mean,
in the world, not just the U.S.
The only bigger would have been like Cristiano Ronaldo or something, Taylor Swift, something like that.
Taylor Swift, probably.
Taylor Swift. But he's got a legitimate claim, and I hope it pays out for him. Did you get a chance to pay attention to any of the COVID stuff while COVID was going on?
I kind of look the other direction, even though I'm in healthcare.
I know, it's crazy.
And, them forcing all of my employees had to get vaccinated or they couldn't work. And it's no medical exemption, no religious exemption, no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
is that because you were under 100 employees or?
It's because we're in healthcare, so 100 doesn't matter.
It's a tough one. Dana just got cleared. He's like 3 days healthy.
Hey, look, if you're for the vaccine, take it. If you're not for it, don't take it. That's how I look at it. You want us to wear masks in certain areas, fine, whatever. But don't force the jab on people and make it so they have to get the jab to do things. Well,
it's something like what now? More than 50% of the country's vaccinated.
I think we're at 65.
Yeah. I mean, at what point how much money are they going to make? You know what I mean?
I'm sure they made billions at this point.
You think?
Just a couple.
You think? I mean, Jesus. It's crazy. Now, I don't know how it all plays out and where it goes, but I think it's all speaking to similar to what companies like SIG are doing at SHOT Show, creating your own experience, creating your own environment to be successful and to control the media. And I think that's something that a lot of brands should look at. And that's where I think, a guy like you becomes tremendously valuable in so many ways, because not only can you lend the insight of an entrepreneur from the outside, but you can also kind of participate in a nice level where it's on your terms. And do you find yourself ever like companies asking you, hey, what would you do? Or what, how would you do this?
I do find a lot of that, especially from the business aspect. And I get a lot of companies reaching out, oh, well, you market this product. Well, your product's crap, so no.
Isn't it funny how the gun industry is, though? They're like, we'll send you a muzzle brake or a pouch, and like, can you post that for? It's so weird. It's the weirdest.
It's frustrating because look, every post costs me around $1,000. They're like, well, we'll give you $100 for your time. So I'm paying $900 for this stupid muzzle brake that I could go buy myself.
Why do you think they're so disconnected?
I don't think they understand the value of social media and the impressions. Like, look, I reach 1.1 million people a week off of 3 posts. And that's just me dicking around.
Right.
Like, if I was actually getting paid a reasonable number, $2,000 a post, whatever it is, it'd be a different story. I'd post 7 days a week and my impressions would go from 1.1 to probably 3 to 4 million a week.
Right.
Which, when you look at the cost of a magazine ad, you're paying substantially more for not as many impressions.
That's what Tom started figuring out at SIG when he ran the Hunter Games. When he did the Hunter Games thing that like Valentina, Bo, and a few other people went to, he started talking in language that I realized he made a quantum leap in his understanding of it. He started talking about impressions. He started talking about reach. And they're realizing that it's quality over quantity. Now, going back to the Big Daddy thing, I think that's something they should take a page from. Quality over quantity. You don't need 120 influencers there. You need 20 of the right influencers.
They had 400.
Insane. And
it was, Bruce will tell you, it was kind of a mess for some of it. Other parts of it were amazing. But even at dinner, there wasn't enough seats.
That's crazy. And you can't screw up the food. The food was all right? What'd they have? Was it on our level?
No, it wasn't on your level.
That's frustrating.
It was food.
Food's a big part of this operation, so.
Yeah, you would have been frustrated.
Now, you start going to these things and you start participating. Do people know, like, you don't need to be there?
Yes.
Okay. That's important. But.
Look, not to sound douchey, but I was the only guy wearing a Rolex at the Big Daddy event.
Well, I'm sure that there's some people that had them on, but they may have been from a flea market or probably from a Chinese knockoff store.
It's definitely possible.
It's possible. There might have been somebody in there. But I think, I don't think that's douchey at all. I think that the industry needs to have a wake-up call, because if you go in any other industry, and this is something I'll probably talk about with Bruce later, you go into like the fitness industry and everything, they just know how to take care of people. And there's almost like this air in the gun industry of like, we'll send you a muzzle brake.
Look, Bruce met, 50 people while we were there. Each one got a care package from Bruce, which is unheard of in that industry. Right. And I got phone calls thanking me. I was like, don't thank me. Bruce did it. And they're just so in shock and awe that someone was willing to do that.
Because he gets that those types of initiatives are the types of initiatives that propel you into the next level, where people start to become familiar with not just you, your brand. They meet you. There's a genuineness. There's a reciprocation. And I've always adhered to the rule of do 2 favors for people before you ask for one.
I love that.
And I think that's the way you have to live. And then people will show you their ass.
That's how I met Mike, doing favors for one another, and it just worked out.
And it becomes a great relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
Mike, I need this. Well, okay, I'll connect you with this person, or vice versa.
Right. So where does it go from here for you?
That's a good question.
Where do you want to go with this? You want to become like a ninja? Do we get you like a movie deal? What do you want to do?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, documentary or something.
I'd like to do social media full time and transition out just because it's fun.
Yeah.
I never wanted to turn into a job like where you critique it and so on and so forth. I want to continue evolving and training, and working with more brands to, facilitate that, so I don't have to pay for ammo and whatnot and travel.
The industry could never support you though, because you would have to buy something and and do it your way. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it your way and own it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you could start a freaking accessory company. It doesn't matter. It's whatever it is. We could start something today. We could start. Yeah. We could
Never know.
Yeah. And just in this room, we could start a brand. And
between 5 of us in here, it'd be no problem.
But I think that's the way you would need to go. What do you think?
That, along with off-road racing, I think would be a fun combination.
Yeah. I heard they can't even get 4-wheelers right now.
You can't get anything right now.
We were trying that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I could sell my trophy truck today, no problem. My Can-Am, no problem. It's just insane.
Why do you think that is? Supply chain?
Supply chain, everything's stuck at sea, and everybody wants everything. Look at the car market.
Yeah, I don't know how it ends, and I don't know how it plays out, but I think at midterms we'll see a lot of changes because there's just going to be too many people voted out. That's how I think it plays out. I think you'll see the biggest changes at midterms.
And midterms is next year, right?
Yeah. But everybody's going to be covering their ass now because they're going to be taking it up the ass at midterms. So everybody's going to be kind of running for the hills. Now, you got a lot of guns. You don't have to disclose how many. What do you prefer to shoot and why? And don't say the K word.
So I do not work with Glock, but I love shooting Glocks.
Okay. That's fair.
And that's what I usually carry on a day-to-day basis. I used to always be a SIG guy. I'm slowly getting back into it. I got the new P320 M17, I believe it is. That's definitely been fun.
Full size kind of guy.
For the range, Mike kind of talked me into it, so got one of those. Started shooting LWRC for ARs.
It's a good product.
I like their product very well.
You get a rattler yet from SIG?
I do have a rattler. I bought it though.
Fucking insane.
I haven't shot it.
Oh my god. That's the holy grail.
And it's the baby one though. It's
That's
like the 3.5 inch or whatever.
I got one up there. I got a copperhead up there, but I have a rattler sitting right there on the floor, suppressed.
All right, so I got the one that's above Mike.
Okay. It's a good gun. Yeah. You can't suppress the copperhead. That's the only sucky part.
You can't?
You can't.
Why not?
It's not a threaded barrel. You have to get it rebarreled, I think.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because it has that device on the right. Am I right in saying that? I'm right. You can't. You have to send it to someone, right? Yes, it's a whole deal. Yeah, it's a whole deal. I don't want to say something not correct about SIG, but I think it's a whole deal to get it suppressed. But that would be the fucking coolest thing if you could ever suppress that too.
Oh yeah, and SIG makes some amazing products.
Oh, their rifle games improved tenfold the last, I don't know, what would you say, 10 years? Last 10 years? Yeah, last 10 years, their rifle game's gotten, the MCX is a badass piece of hardware. A lot of their products have gotten a lot better. I think they're really killing the rifle game right now, and they've been killing it for a long time, and it's not quietly. I think they're starting to produce some really cool shit. There's some other companies out there I like, but who are you jonesing on when you walk around SHOT? Like, what booths are you like, I have to go see these guys?
I always like stopping at SIG, even though they won't talk to me. I like Nighthawk.
That's a sexy product.
It's a sexy product. I would never carry it.
I would prefer Nighthawk over the K brand. I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right, what about a 2011?
I like 2011s. They're not STI now. What are they? Like Staccato. It's like, they're going to call it Staccato now. I don't even know why the fuck they changed names, but
they shoot like butter though.
Yeah, they do. And I like the people over there. They're really sweet people.
Always like seeing Safe Life Defense.
Yeah, they're local.
Yeah, Nick's amazing.
You know I can't get them on the show?
I'll call Nick.
I've asked them like 3 times. I can't get, like, I'm like, hey, you guys want to come down and talk about body armor? They're like, new phone, who this? Like, I'm like, what?
I'll call his girl who...
Yeah, it's so weird.
No, I'll make that happen. That's easy.
That's so weird. Who else?
What
about soft goods? Because that's where I feel like the industry's grown the most the last 10 years. You don't have to walk around in pants that make you look like a fucking asshole.
All right, so I love UF Pro.
Okay.
Super comfy, just a little on the heavy side.
A little pricey.
Little pricey, but I'm a guy that also wears Lululemon most of the time.
Yeah, I get that.
Super comfortable. On the range, I try and stick to range gear. Leopold Optics.
Ugh.
Not a fan?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going.
Who do you prefer?
Anyone. Let's just say if I don't like someone, there's a reason.
Soft good. What do you mean by soft goods exactly? Like bags?
Bags, pouches, clothes.
I like Savior Equipment.
Okay.
That's the only bag I've really played with lately. You know, I used to get Voodoo back in the day. Just buy it. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Shit.
I like Pelican cases, but they're too damn heavy when you put all your shit in there.
They're the best to put your stuff in. They used to be a great booth. When they used to do like a heavy duty booth, they used to be pretty sick at what they did. They still do cool stuff, and I know all of them over there. They're great. Pelican's awesome. I actually should give you one. I have fucking shitloads of them in here.
I also like Vertex.
Yeah. Vertex. Big fan of the Vertex bags. Who else? I'm trying to think. Because you got a good group of brands that you like.
I'm going to start working with GSM Outdoors on the walkers.
They came here. And they supported the event we did with the UFC. I've lost contact with them since. If they're listening, come back by. You could use more ears and eyes for the next event, right?
I'll put in a word for you.
Yeah, they were here and they loved what we were doing. And I was like, they donated the Ear Pro for the last event, remember? Yeah, nice guys.
Super nice.
Huge brand. They own a bunch of shit. Birchwood Casey. They own Cold Steel.
I think they own like 15 brands or something insane.
Yeah, they gave us like axes and knives. They were super kind. Shout out to GSM. Great guys.
Love working with Hogue.
Yeah, Neil's a character. I know that
Neil.
whole thing. Yeah,
He cracks me up.
He's a character. I presented them some plans. We worked on some stuff, but it's an interesting dynamic in that company. There's like the brothers and the father. It's just a fucking crazy dynamic.
Working with family is difficult sometimes.
Yes, that's an interesting dynamic in that building. I've had a couple interesting meetings with them.
I don't know if I could work with family again. I've done it once before, and yeah, it didn't end well.
It's always a risk.
Always a risk and involve lawsuits and family members.
And shitty Thanksgivings.
Yes.
And even worse Christmases. Everything in between. You got to hide around the holidays, especially if it goes south.
Before the baby, I'd just pick a country.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
So you'll go to SHOT.
I will be going to SHOT, and Henry Wu is trying to drag me to Safari Show.
Safari Club International.
That one.
It's a fucking badass show. I'm going to tell you right now.
He said I'll have more fun there than SHOT.
We said that. We said that. I'm telling you, you will. You want to know why?
Yeah.
It's smaller. It's more scaled down. It's more reasonable. You can walk around and talk to everybody. The whole thing with SHOT that's gone off the rails is, why do you need a $5 million fucking booth? Why do I need to see every gun you've made since the dawn of time? I'm going to get in trouble again with the end. I got to keep my mouth shut. But it's bad enough. I had to have a couple calls. But I just think the scale of it has gotten out of control.
For someone like me walking through SHOT, I find it really difficult to have a conversation with a lot of the vendors.
Impossible.
Unless someone like you or someone I know is literally hand-holding me through.
Yeah.
It's pretty much impossible for me to work something.
And then the whole Caesars thing. That's going to be a hot... Who's going to Caesars? Who's going to Caesars to see Ruger? Who?
I was like, dude.
Was it Ruger's in Caesars? Is that what it is? Something like that. Who the fuck is going there?
LWRC's in Caesars.
Who's going there?
Dude, that's a hike.
Oh, it's separated?
Yeah, who's going there?
So there's first floor, second floor, then Caesars.
3 floors. What's second floor? 3, right? You got to go upstairs to the dealer showcase.
I forget about the little thing up there.
Who's going to Caesars?
And then you have to buy a pass for the monorail and all that nonsense.
It's just, why does it have to be that big?
It doesn't. Make people's booths a little smaller.
And not everybody that has a pouch needs to be there.
True.
What would you do? You're a bright guy. How would you rework it?
I'd limit booth size and make it uniform.
Yeah. And you have to make the upstairs speaking engagements and everything, you have to make them more of an event. They have to be more...
I've never been to one.
Yeah.
And they have to show the last 5 years.
They should have guys like you up there speak. They have to make them more of an event. You have to have more executives drawn up there to speak. You cannot do it like the way that it's been being done for as long as it's been done. Something needs to change. And that's one of the things is they don't want to change. They just want to sell bigger booth space, bigger. Build to infinity.
No, and I'd rather, look, I love staying at the Venetian because it's right there.
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with it. Now I got to hike to another hotel.
You're going to do the hike.
Unfortunately.
Oof.
You know, because I'm loyal to LWRC, so unfortunately I got to make the hike.
Yeah. It's a tough one, right?
Did Volkortson pull out?
Yeah.
So he'll just be walking around.
Scott will be there. He's not going to do a booth. I think Right On was on the fence, and I believe... Is Angstead doing one? Is Rich doing a booth? I don't know. I know a lot of companies that pulled out of it, and they all have good reasons. I mean, you have to look at like SIG, for example, COVID, everything else. You know, you're gonna have people come back sick. It's just too hard.
Plus, what's their backlog right now? 2 years?
Probably at least that 18 months.
So
even for guys like us, it's a minute.
Yeah. So you call in, hey, I want this. We'll get to you when we get to you.
That's where it is. So it's hard. I think they got to change a lot. I think they have to make upstairs more valuable. I think they have to make it like a true trade show where people actually see value. You can't say it's a media event because you just don't get the foot traffic. You hit more with a post than you can get.
And here's the funny part. I wasn't allowed to enter SHOT Show as media.
That's ridiculous.
I don't qualify because they said anything social media related doesn't qualify.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm a reserve with the department, so I went under that. And then I'm trying to get into media day, and they're like, well, you went in as a buyer. Well, you wouldn't let me go in as fucking media, so make your mind up.
Why do they do that? Why? I don't get it. I think it should just be open to the public.
At this point, yeah. You want to just sell tickets and cap it at whatever number is capacity.
How much would you sell the tickets for? What do you think it's worth? $50?
I'd pay $200.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it. You and I have been through it. So for us, it's a little different. I think the average person would pay around 150 to 200.
I would say 100 would be like the higher end. I would say 150 to 200 for like a media pass too.
Okay.
I could see that.
And it's 3 days, so people get to go through, just like SEMA.
I love the idea of selling tickets, Brian, because if you sell tickets, here's what I think. If you sell tickets, then you can start to have the event cater and you could start to build up the superstars. But to me, the Second Amendment represents more than having, Dan Crenshaw come down and talk. Like, no. I don't know I don't know sometimes what the play is with the NRA and with the NSSF and some of the things they do. They almost turn it into a political event. Well, there's a lot of Democrats that carry guns now too. Mm-hmm. And we shouldn't alienate them by making it political.
No.
And that's part of the risk. And that's some of the danger of some of the trajectory of the things that they do. And how are you going to win those people over if you make it that type of event where it's politicized and it's like...
You can't.
You want to sell to everybody. You want to sell
gun
product.
shops you go into, they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with you. They're not friendly, so on and so forth.
Gun shops are run... I'm a huge fan of the FFLs. I love the FFLs. I think they're the mom and pop and they're the pulse of the industry. Unfortunately, because of what they pay people an hour, a lot of people at the front are like these hardcore BDU wearing SWAT guys that are like, hey, what do you want? Oh, 45? That's too much stopping power for you, ma'am. Let me give you a fucking Kel-Tec, fucking double barrel 22 or something. They don't think it through, and I think that's part of they don't understand the buying experience. But then again, what are you going to get? Neither, what are you going to be able to afford, and who are you going to hire out there?
I get it, and in California, the lines were 2 hours long during the pandemic.
I heard they were putting those deli counter things out.
They were,
and that was how they were doing it.
Or someone would be standing out there with a yellow notepad, writing down your name and phone number, and texting you. And they'd say you'd have 10 minutes to show up. So basically, I have to be within 10 minutes for the next.
Yeah, but why don't you just get an FFL and open a gun shop? You should.
I should.
Yeah, you should just get an FFL and open a little shop somewhere.
Well, funny you say that. I got added as an employee in December of last year, and I still haven't been approved.
Yeah, well.
Gotta love it.
Insane. I don't know. I just wish the gun industry would take a page from some of you guys that have that entrepreneurial spirit and understand some of the language that you're using and start to incorporate it into their marketing plan and into how they develop people around their brand. And I think they'd be very surprised how many people would support a brand for next to nothing. It's not about the money. A lot of it's a passion, but there's this unwillingness to drive the people and to support them. Like if a company came to you and said, we'll put you out in newsletters, we'll make you, our guy, will you post, share, I guarantee you, I know what the answer would be already.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, yeah, sure. And there's no monetary in that.
California Pistol and Rifle Association came to me recently for the same thing. I've been waiting on a contract for 2 months now to fulfill it. And it's like, all right, guys, I'm here. I'm willing. Like, I support the cause and I support the message.
Like, I've said it on this show a couple times. Like, I've had, you know, the countless guests on here.
Yep.
Do you know not one org has called me?
Not one.
Not one.
That's
to use a
sad.
clip, to use a picture, Brian,
To use nothing.
to use anything. Not one org. Not Firearms Policy Coalition. I have a good relationship. I actually talked to some of the people over there. But not the NRA, not the NSSF. Not one organization has said, geez, could we use that picture or whatever? Or could we use that?
But they'll call you to talk shit about what you're saying.
Yes. That is the world that I live in.
That's kind of fucked up.
It's crazy, right?
Very crazy.
It's crazy. And I had to eat. I'm not going to get into it because I'll end up getting in trouble. But but I eat a lot of shit for that. And I'm like, I'll give it to you for free. There's no better answer. If we could just work something out on the promotional side, I'll give it for free.
It's all that matters.
It's all that matters. Is that insane?
I don't think insane describes it, John. Mm-hmm. You know, the way a lot of this has come along, it's like, dude, they're so ass backwards in a lot of it.
It's that unwillingness to say, these are our guys and we're going to support them. So it's a barrier. It's just a huge barrier. I don't get it. I don't get it sometimes. Now, obviously you have other things you enjoy. What else do you do?
Love traveling.
Where's the coolest place you've been?
Bali.
Bali.
It was a motherfucker to get there, though. 26 hours.
That's
But
crazy.
once you're there, I stayed for 12 days, had the time of my life, and took my girl for her 30th birthday. I think for 10 days, I spent $7,500.
That's not bad, though. That's
That
not too
was
bad.
massages every day,
Yeah.
eating all day long.
I mean, it's out of my budget. I'll be at Sandals, but
I don't think there's the sandals there.
I'll be at fucking Sandals. I'll be at Sandals in Chelsea, Mass. That's where I'll be.
Bora Bora was
in Revere.
Bora Bora was amazing, but Jesus, that was overpriced.
26 hours is nuts. What do you do on the plane?
Sleep
Fuck.
and eat.
Yeah.
It was only 2 planes.
It's a long flight. What's it to
I just did Turkey,
how many hours is that?
14 straight.
That's not too bad. At least it's 14 straight, right?
Yeah.
Do you get up and walk around?
So I went there.
26 hours. 26 fucking hours. It's at least 2 shits in my book. It is. What's that bathroom? Must look like a 7-Eleven by the time you get there. I mean it. It's gotta be. Insane.
I can't poop on an airplane.
Do you feel like when you're away from your guns, do you feel like helpless sometimes?
I feel naked.
You feel naked. I feel naked and afraid myself.
So I think it's called Death Star. They came out with these Sharpies that are basically a dagger that you can fly with. And that's the only thing I got when I'm flying.
It's right up there with the paracord bracelet.
Hey, bro.
Now it's like a Kubaton. You get it on the plane. Did you take it to Bali? Did you get away with that?
Yeah. I got it in my backpack. I'll show you after.
I need one of these. Just in case I have to dagger somebody in the front row and somebody attacks me, I'm not wearing a mask or something.
It's pretty fucking sharp, too.
I believe it. There was one time some guy made, remember? It was like a guy, it went through a bulletproof vest or something. Like one of those, like.
Well, Ed also makes some interesting stuff.
We were talking about Ed's Manifesto out there. Ed makes a lot of improvised weapons. He came in here once. It's a true story. I might have a video of it, but I definitely have a picture of it. He made a homemade flamethrower for self-defense. It was a WD-40 can with a lighter attached to it. He goes, check this out. I made an improvise, but he does it because he'll show people what people can make, like, you know, what people can do. His classes are really interesting, and if you do get a chance to do something with him, Ed is an amazing character. He's literally a character in the business. He's such an enigma, but he moves the needle, and he's very intriguing, and he's built an interesting brand. It's almost like a skateboard company.
Yeah, and then he collabs with so many different companies. So, like, you follow him, and then you see this brand or that brand with all these cool different items.
Yeah, he's working with Sneaker Reaper Industries and a couple other brands that I really admire what he's building out because it's unique and it's different.
Oh, yeah. And It's stuff that you can technically bring with you on an airplane.
Yeah. Every time he's in here, I always load him up on some cool stuff because he loves, like, I love seeing what he does with it too. He's always so interesting with that stuff. But he's doing a shitload of courses and he's traveling around. He's doing a ton right now.
Yeah, I talked to him last week. I believe he's out of the country in Mexico doing some stuff.
Probably extracting somebody's cousin. Who knows?
It's possible.
It's possible. Or maybe he's bringing a few keys over. Who knows? Who knows what he does?
I don't think anybody wants to know.
I don't want to know.
I don't
for sure. I don't want to know. But I do know if I went missing over the border, he'd be the first person I call.
Help.
If I went missing. Call Ed if I'm missing. If I go to Mexico and you're going to hear from me for a week.
Just set your sat phone with, the emergency button to call him.
There's a lot of people that don't believe he did what he did over there, which is kind of crazy. He gets a lot of shit sometimes too. Undeservingly so, because he's definitely insanely knowledgeable about all that stuff. When you start getting his stories going, some of them are terrifying. I'll never go to Mexico again because of him. Would you?
I was just there for Thanksgiving.
See?
But I'm brown. I blend in. You're white.
Yeah, see, you're a real man. I'm just like half a man. I can't be over there. They'll take me. They'll think there's ransom money. They'll think there's some money.
Only problem is when they start talking to me in Spanish, I'm fucked.
Yeah. What do you say? You got to have like 2 lines. You need like 2 good lines.
I just know how to order tacos.
You just have to be like, yo canto con los gatos. Just something like that.
You just watch Blue Streak way too many times.
You just have to have some type of like line for them, something to blend in, or maybe at least like be like, see those dead bodies over there? Yeah, I'm that guy. I got you. He said people are like hanging from the streets. He said homelessness is through the roof. He's like, don't go to Cabo, don't go here. He scares the crap out of me.
Have you been to California?
Yeah.
Have you seen the homelessness problem we have?
Bad
is an understatement.
You gotta get out of there. We gotta get you out of there. Ed, if you're listening, we need to do an extraction. Goldie needs to get out of California. Escape from LA is not just a movie. Can you help us out? Reach out anytime. Now, you're leaving, though. You're leaving Cali.
Yeah.
You haven't decided. You're here for now.
I'm here for right now. I think Nevada will be the first transition, and then kind of figure out the jump after that.
I like this. A guy who does it in steps. You should write a manual.
I should.
You should write a book, How to Flee California. That should be your next audiobook, like How to Flee California Successfully.
Well, yeah, and anytime you leave California, the Franchise Tax Board is going to audit you.
Really?
Yes. Well, someone of my caliber.
Fuck.
They want their taxes.
It's impossible to live there, isn't it? How do you become a millionaire in California?
You give half to the government. 52.5 to be exact.
It's insane.
They're your silent partner.
What do you think of Newsom?
Yeah, he stole that re-election.
Did he really?
There is no chance he got more votes than when he went in.
Yeah. I gotta be careful. They'll demonetize me. I think he's great. They'll cut me off. Here's the thing that I've said this before on this show. I'm just, I'm a little jaded. Who votes for her? Like, who votes for her and who votes for him? Like, who is going to the polls and saying Nancy Pelosi's my gal? Like, who is that voter? That's what I want to. That's what I want to go to her district and interview. We'd make $1 million if we all got in a car and we went up there and we just did videos. Like, what does that voter look like? She's 100.
They're the ones that wear the mask alone in a car.
And she doesn't listen to any rules.
No, she does she just bought a $25 million house in Florida.
They're running from her. They're running from Kamala. They're disasters. But I got to meet who's voting for them. I want to know.
I think we should start a show. Travel the country.
If you'll finance it, we're all in this room. We are all in. We will ride around. I'll get the microphones right now.
I think we'll make it back pretty damn quick.
I think we'll make it back real. If we just started a channel, who votes for... That's an idea. Who votes for you?
Just who'd you vote for?
Yeah.
We're not picking a side.
It's $1 million idea. We should do it. If you'll finance it, no pressure. We'll get out on the street right now. I got the street team here. Bruce will put you in charge. We're on point.
We just got to get a motorhome with a couple bunk beds. We're good.
And we'll call it Who Did You Vote For?
Yeah.
Fuck. What does that voter look like? What does the Kamala voter look like? That's the best. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Does she last?
I don't think so.
I I don't think so either. They were talking about the Supreme Court. I think they have to get rid of her. She's a fucking disaster. The border, everything else.
Oh, the border's a whole nother problem in itself.
She was supposed to be the border czar. She's never gone.
Yeah.
I'm not going. She just like kind of like, I'm not going.
I'm in denial.
Oh man. How do we save it? What do we do? Is there a path? Do we have any hope?
I think the bubble has to pop financially for people to kind of struggle again to really see change.
Why is that? Why do we have to suck so bad to see that we had it so good?
Because we gave away too much free money. People didn't have to work for a year.
Are you a fan of UBI? Do you like universal basic income?
No.
I'm actually can be sold on it. If you would do away with half the welfare programs, I could be sold on it.
If you go
that's the route I would go. I would say give the people the money and let them fuck up their life or let them inject it into the economy. If they want to spend it on healthcare and they want to, like, if somebody like UBI, I think it was Daniel Yang, he was saying something like 14,000 a year was something that some funky math he came up with or whatever it was. But I see it as like, if you can use that and get your own healthcare coverage and funnel that money back through the economy, I'd be for it.
That I'm okay, because look at how much fraud's on welfare and everything else in between. Look, California had $32 billion in EDD fraud.
Yeah. Did you follow the Black Rifle Coffee thing? You see them go public?
I did not.
Yeah, they went public. I don't know what you thought of that.
How'd it go?
I don't know. Their EBITDA is not great. They spend a lot of money to generate the capital they generate, but it's very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, especially in this community. But I try to remind people all the time that at the end of the day, they're a coffee company. You know, it's a coffee company. They're not a gun company, but it's a very interesting story. And of course, I've seen Evan do a million podcasts and Matt and stuff, and I think they do a great but a lot. The problem in the industry too is for a while people are trying to capture that model, but at the end of the day, it's a coffee subscription company. It's not a gun company.
Correct.
And that's some of the problem. For a long time in this industry, you'd be very surprised. In a lot of those marketing meetings, they were like, we just need a video like Black Rifle Coffee. And I'm like, it's a coffee company.
And and then you see so many people chasing the coffee right now as well.
Oh, there's 100 of them. I'm sure you've been pitched 100 times.
I have. Some of the people we both work with or know. I'm like, no. And just like the whole affiliate marketing thing. Look, my time's not free. I can pick and choose who I want to work with.
Yeah, the affiliate marketing thing is a tough one in the gun industry. A lot of people, like Big Daddy wants to push a code. The big thing is like, we're going to push codes. And I'm like, I'll ask CEOs straight up, point blank, like, do you use a code? I don't use a code to buy anything.
No, if I see something cool, I'm not using your code. I'm just buying it.
All right. And that's where the code thing kind of falls flat for me. We'll give you a code.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I just, so you're saying everything else I do is worthless. What's only worth to you is the code.
Yes.
So if I go to the range and I set up $10,000 worth of a production, right? Because it's production level, like this is a production. You're
Correct.
in here. This is a production. I get companies that are like, we'll give you a code. Look around here. And that's what I get. I'm serious.
Just your rig right here was what, 50 grand?
In this room, easily. In this room, easily, there's that. Easily.
And people don't factor that, and they think your time is free, and the person to chop this up and edit it and upload it, well, didn't you have to pay them a salary?
They don't understand production value.
No, I had one company that, a shaving brand that's very well known, did an amazing commercial for them, and they're like, well, plug in the code. Okay. At the same time, they released their own code with the same discount code.
I did the same thing with Manscaped, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I did the same thing with them for a while because I like the brand and I like what they're doing and I enjoyed it and it was a great guest gift. If it's a good guest gift, I'm interested. I have some interest. If it's something that's more of like a flyer, like I'm taking a chance on it, I'm less likely to say like, okay, I'll do that, But I didn't do it free for them. I hope you didn't. I definitely didn't.
No, they paid me, I think, $1,500.
Yeah, it wasn't big money, but I wasn't doing free.
But
there was no way.
The ad I did was insane, and they're like, we're not that happy with it. I'm like, you gave me no direction. You sent me a product. And
well, that's the thing. Yeah, you get the complaints after of like, you didn't wear the hat. You didn't wear the shirt. And I'm like, you've given me no copy, no direction, shipped me a box of shit, and I threw it around here. And I don't get that many complaints, but like you get that from time to time. And I'm like,
I get it occasionally. I don't get it very often, but it's just annoying when they send you a product and they're like, okay, do what you do. Okay. I'll bang my head against the wall for a couple of days to figure out how to do it.
Well, they figured out the formula at Manscaped. They're kind of like, they take the approach of like, we'll rent you for 3 months. That's the formula.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with being used once in a while if it's a product I like. And I do like the product.
No, if there's certain brands I support that, don't pay.
Money doesn't matter as much. Yeah, it's funny. Did they even share it?
Nope.
Yeah, that's the fucked up thing. That's the thing that always gets me. I'm like, you didn't even share it. Like, I gave you a discount. You know, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of frustrating.
Did you go over to that SoFi Stadium yet in LA? We were talking about that earlier.
I have not been there yet.
You been there? You went there. Fucking sick, right?
That's because he's kind of popular.
He's famous.
Yeah,
he's famous. Hopefully he'll be on later if I can.
He says I'm famous. But
Yeah,
he's really famous.
We're working on getting him on the show at some point. Yeah, I got to talk to his people. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Do you go to any sports? You get a chance to?
I'm not a big sports guy.
I
like motocross.
What about the Dodgers? I think you got to go to a Dodgers game or something, right? Or
if I'm going to a game, I'm usually just eating.
Yeah, no, I know. I am too. I mean, I go to the Raiders here now, and it's like you get to have breakfast. It's crazy. It's so different than the East Coast because of the time switch. That's what blows my mind. It's like kegs and eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
I'm not big on the sporting events.
Yeah, but that SoFi Stadium is freaking gorgeous. You got to get over there. Take him with you. He's a good tag along. You know?
Yeah.
Throw him in the bushes.
He's kind of cute to bring along, you know?
He knows everybody. We'll get to him later. Now, movies?
Love movies.
All right. Let's go deep for a second. What movies?
Lately, I haven't really been impressed with anything.
Did you see, you follow Yellowstone at all?
I do not.
I'm starting to get a kick out of the memes. People that think that's cowboying. It's pretty funny to me. Yellowstone's been the big hit. They were just in town for that, what was it? It's like, it wasn't PBR. It was NAR or something.
I think PBR's right now.
Is it right now? Is that what? That's what was right now at the convention center. But everybody's into that cowboy thing's making like a huge comeback.
Oh, and then you got all these rappers going, country.
Going country. It's crazy. What about movies? When you're sitting at home, what's like the 3 movies you got to watch? This I got to know because I'm a movie junk box. So's Tony.
So if I'm just sitting at home, honestly, I'm just working. It's either that or playing with the baby. Like, I try not to watch much TV anymore.
Do you still have cable?
I do not.
You clipped it?
I clipped it.
What do you have?
Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon and HBO.
Hulu's becoming the shit.
Hulu has definitely stepped up their game.
I'm okay.
And I think
Hulu.
I watch HBO and Showtime through Hulu.
Showtime leaves a lot to be desired. I think they're skimming the game. I like the idea. Do you like the idea of movie theaters dying, or you think movie theaters should survive?
I like going to a movie theater every now and then.
Yeah.
But I like the ones where they bring you food.
The snacks.
Yeah.
The snacks.
Bring you a blanket, a pillow. I'll pay the $30 a seat to have the comfort.
You think that's where it's going, a more premium experience? You think it's going to be more of that?
That's how it's turned in Los Angeles.
What is it to go to a movie in LA now? $50 for a couple just to get in the door?
30 each, so 60. And then you add food, another 100.
Fucking insane. That's fucking insane. That's a night at the Paca House. That's a night at the fucking, yeah, that's the Oak Room. That is. It is. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah, it's
one deviled egg is $25. Seriously.
I went to a restaurant recently and it was supposed to be like $500 for me and my girl. Ended up walking out paying $1,200.
I'd have to take a loan out. Like,
I was like, this was not worth it.
Want to go on a date? Let me call the fucking bank. Seriously, that's insane. That's insane. So you go to dinner and a movie in LA, you're $300
at least. Depends on where we had dinner.
Fuck.
Going to Mastro's, you're not getting out for cheaper than $300.
That butter cake,
dude. That butter cake gets me sometimes though.
If you're near a Mastro's, everybody listening, get the butter cake. I'll tell you right now, it'll change your life. It's the size of your head. It's fucking amazing.
There's 3 sticks of butter in one butter cake?
No.
Yes.
How many calories in one piece? 1,000. Bruce has had 3 or 4 today. 3 or 4 cakes today. He already made a dish. Mastro's. I like Mastro's. I think it's really good. We had a takeout just recently. It's good to get it and take it home, even though that's sacrilege. I like it.
Well, now they have it where they prep the meat for you and give it to you, and you can finish it at home.
You can cook it at home. A lot of restaurants are doing that's crazy. Can you still go in a restaurant in LA?
If you're vaccinated.
You shitting me? You have to be vaccinated.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
You have to be vaccinated, or you can eat outdoors.
Now, why haven't you got into more extreme shit like riding jet skis on fire or something? Like, have you poked into some of that stuff? Or
thought about it. I got my stem cell guy here with me.
Yeah.
He's the one who's treated me for herniating C456, L4, L5, S1.
Oh.
Both shoulders I've destroyed from riding motorcycles. Like, My last Baja crash, I went off a 1,000-foot cliff and herniated my neck and still walked 8 miles after.
I know a guy that went off a cliff in an undisclosed country and is barely walking today. It's fucking crazy what you guys are willing to do to get that high.
So you going to come with me or what?
No, hell no.
All right, I'll let you drive.
No.
That's not up your alley?
I don't like going on anything that goes faster than I can walk.
Seriously?
Yeah. And I never drive faster than I can see.
I recently just did 200 miles an hour.
That's insane. It's like, is there like, when you hit 200, is there some I may have gone 200 when I was a kid, like flying down the highway. Yeah. I don't know. Well, we did some dumb shit when I was a kid. I got pulled over once for doing like 120.
How'd that go?
Fine. It was all right. It was like coming back from UMass. I was driving from Amherst. What? You got some crazy story back there. Give yourself some volume.
I did 200 once.
In a car?
Maybe 2-3 times. Not in a car, though.
Have you ever done 200 on a bike? No.
I think GPS was 203 that we took on the Busa when I did it.
That had to pucker your butthole.
It's like the whole world's like... is what it's like.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's scary.
Is it like Thunder Mountain times 10? Space Mountain times... like,
I don't even think you can really compare it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Do you do it on a track? Obviously.
I did it on an airstrip. At actually Edwards Air Force Base.
At what point were you like, this is fast?
None?
180?
No.
150? I feel like 150 my asshole would pucker.
I'd say 160 for me is when it was like...
But that was on a bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bike is whole nother ballgame.
Terrifying.
It's not terrifying. It's just different.
It's terrifying to me.
We did it on a public highway, too.
I like your style.
Fucking Rough Rider over there. DMX. That's fucking crazy. Now, what else? You gonna try? Have you tried skydiving?
I have not.
You should.
It's on my list.
It's on your list. Bungee jump?
No, not with my back.
No. Yeah, it takes a toll on your body for sure. I don't know if all that's good at our age and stage of the game, really.
No, I wake up and I'm like, oh, this hurts.
I think you got to do something extreme, though. I think you should start riding around in like a flaming helicopter or something. That will really take it to the next level, I think. I think something maybe like... all
right, so I'll make you a deal. You help me with the crazy ideas, and I'll help you more on
parachute
business.
out of a burning building and we get it on video, like, or parachute out of something crazy. We'll think of something. Got to get you to the next level of crazy. Chasing that adrenaline.
I like next level of crazy.
I think so, too.
You put them on the sky jump at the stratosphere.
That's true.
The fuck is the sky jump?
Oh.
Yeah, stratosphere. There's a lot of options.
Do you want to drop
Hey, we could just walk Fremont Street. That's crazy enough. We could just take a walk down there. We could see the naked nuns. We can do the whole thing. We could do something crazy.
It's a...
What are you guys talking about?
Fremont Street. You ever been to Fremont Street?
I don't think so.
You need to.
That too?
That in and of itself.
Is an adventure.
Yeah, surviving that walk is crazy enough.
Without getting pickpocketed?
Without getting anything. Without catching anything is crazy. That's like the old Vegas side.
The sky jump, though, isn't really a bungee jump, though. It's like a controlled descent jump is what it is.
Yeah.
So you get strapped in like a bungee jump kind of, and then they kind of just control your descent down about 830 feet or so.
We were just talking about the rodeo. You dressed for the rodeo. Where'd you get that shirt?
Yeah, that's an SNS Dixon flannel, man.
Of course it is. Shout out to Dixon. Dan's great. Yeah, it's crazy. So, we digress. How long have we been going? Forever.
About a little bit over an hour.
Oh, hey, listen. We're at that time. Let everybody know where they can find you, where they can reach you, and how they can get in touch with you.
So I can be reached on Instagram, Brian Gold PhD. Same thing on YouTube, and the same thing on TikTok. Or you can email me at support@briangoldphd.com.
Is it a real PhD?
It's an honorary PhD.
Where'd you get it?
Working in the industry.
Yeah?
A school.
That's fucking cool, though.
Yeah.
I've never been knighted or anything. I think it's probably something like that, right?
It's kind of like that.
I think that's fucking cool. Do you use it at all? You should. I would. Call me doctor.
Technically, I use
Dr.
it,
J.
but not really.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I mean, didn't they rescind like 100 of those from Bill Cosby? That was like, they had like 900 PhDs. They were like, we had to take them all away. Every school took them away.
I'm a business guy at the end of the day, so.
But it is cool.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking super cool. I would like to get, if anybody in the UK is listening, or any, there's some Caribbean countries I could probably still get knighted in, right? I'm looking to get knighted. I wouldn't mind that.
Ed might know someone.
Yeah.
Why don't you just become a lord?
You could do that online now.
Yeah, that's like
You can get the Lord for like 50
Get like a 1 foot by 1 foot
Lord,
lot in
called
Ireland.
Baron. The Baron. That'd be fucking awesome. I think I should do that. All right, listen, guys. Everybody. This guy's amazing. He's got an amazing journey. Go check out his page. Go check out all his Instagram. It's a lot of fun rapping with him. Super awesome guy. Go check out everything Brian's working on. Where will you be next that people can see you or bump into you? Shot, right? Probably the biggest.
Shot will be the next, because there's an event tonight, but this won't air tonight. So Shot.
What is it tonight? Can you divulge?
Elevator nights with Dan Fleischman. There'll be about 400 people at Caesar's Palace.
Amazing.
I will be talking to 400 people.
Sick. And there's that EP, Executive Protection deal with Byron Rogers is in town this week. There's a lot of shit in town this week.
There's a lot of shit going on.
There's a lot of Byron's around. I know that. He was going to try and stop by. There's a lot of people in town. It'd be fun. How long are you in town?
24 hours.
Ah, fuck. You guys with money are in and out.
I got a newborn, bro.
Yeah, you guys are in and out.
I refuse to hire help
Why?
because I want to raise my own child. I was raised by somebody else.
It's a good answer. That's the right answer.
It's not a money thing. I want my child to have that bonding.
I would think you'd have like 5 handlers, babysitters.
It's my girl, myself, and then my mom comes every night.
That's the way to do it, right?
Mom drives 3 hours every day,
No way.
hour and a half each way.
She likes that?
She loves it. That's her stress relief.
Yeah, some people like to drive.
No. Her stress relief is the baby, not the drive.
Oh, wow.
The drive she hates.
She get her a bubble copter. We were looking at them earlier. Bubble copters.
I was thinking about getting her a Tesla so she could autopilot it.
Autopilot it.
Huh.
That would be the way to go. Build her a tram. You got the money. Do it. Listen, I appreciate everyone. I want to shout out the sponsors. Head over to the website, www.johnbartoloshow.com. Go check out a complete list of the sponsors. I'll say a few of them now. Sig Sauer, Galco Leather Holsters, Blackwater Ammunition, Volkortsen. Shout out to Scott Volkortsen. Go check him out in his podcast. He's pushing that hard. Go check out Scott. Right on Optics. Go check out Right on Optics podcast. Brady's doing a lot of fun available. All the links are down below. Go check out all the websites. I want to give a special shout out to Pulsar Thermal Imaging Technology, Enforce Weapon Lights, and of course, shout out to the crew here and all the guests and everybody that comes in. And of course, Brian. Appreciate him coming in.
Thank you for having
and
me.
spending the time. Yeah, no, thank you. Look forward to having you back. When you're back in town, will you look me up? You promise?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll do this again.
All right.
All right, we're out.